reaction turbine of 0.5. R is equal to 0.5, and for that we looked at the expressions for the work done. Now, in this today's class, we'll look at the expressions for the blade efficiency or hydraulic efficiency. Before we get into that, let us look at the what are the types of kinetic energies available with respect to fixed blade and the rotating blades. Let me write that. See, the kinetic energy available or supplied, or we call it supplied to the available at the fixed blade, that is at the entry. We can take it as it is V1 square by 2. Fine. Then kinetic energy supplied or available at the moving blade. At the moving blade. See, when I have the moving blade, it is the relative velocity which comes into picture. So that will be VR2 square minus VR1 square by 2. This is I am trying to compare at the inlet and at the exit. That is at the inlet and exit of this thing. So what will be the total energy available? The total energy, therefore, the total, the kinetic energy available at each stage, available at this stage. The stage consists of both your fixed and your rotor. So that will be V1 square by 2 plus VR2 square minus VR1 square by 2. That means I am trying to add both. Okay. So if I call this as some expression number 8, already we have the 7, so this I am calling it as 8. So what will happen in case of your R is equal to 5? For the condition, R is equal to 0.5, your VR2 is equal to V1. Okay, and also have alpha 1 is equal to beta 2. Already this we have seen the condition. Beta 1 is equal to alpha 2. So this is a condition. So now what will happen if I, what is the energy, kinetic energy available at any stage? This is nothing but your enthalpy of the stage in terms of your kinetic energy. So I can write, therefore, delta H for the stage, or the energy available for the stage, will be equal to V1 square by 2. So what I will do? I will write VR2 square as V1 square. Fine. So in that case, what will happen? It will be either VR2 is equal to V1 square minus your VR1 square by 2. I can write it like this. Or I can write for either retain in terms of VR. So either I can write V1 or I can write VR2 as V1. So I can write it as VR2 square plus VR2 square minus VR1 square by 2. Either I can take terms of that one or in terms. So here V1 square by 2 plus V1 square by 2, what it is actually? It is simply V1 square. V1 square minus VR1 square by 2, or I can write it as VR2 square minus VR1 square by 2. So I can write it in this particular expression. Let me call that as 9. Now, we know from the, if I take the inlet velocity triangle from the inlet velocity triangle, apply the cosine rule. Apply the cosine rule. Let me go to the triangle, inlet velocity triangle. If you go to this, VR1 square, so I am going to take this one. VR1 square is equal to V1 square plus your u2 square or u square, because u is common, minus 2v into u into your cos alpha 1. So I am going to take the triangle A, if I call this as B, D. So if I consider the triangle ABD, my VR1 square is equal to V1 square plus U square minus 2VU into cos alpha 1. Okay. So applying the cosine rule, let me write VR1 square is equal to V1 square plus U square minus 2 into V1 into U into cos alpha 1. Okay. Now what is delta H? So what I will do actually, I'll substitute for, if I call this as 10, substitute VR1 square in equation, in the above equation. That is in the above equation. If I substitute, your delta H stage is equal to V1 square minus, it will be V1 square plus U square minus 2V1 U into cos alpha 1 square. See this particular thing. So V1 square plus U square plus 2V1 U cos alpha 1 divided by your 2. So this will be the substitution. I can simplify this. So what will happen if 2 is the common factor? This will become 2V1 square minus V1 square plus minus into plus, this will become minus. Okay. Or I can write another, then I can substitute. So this will be minus into minus, this will be minus V minus U square. So this will be minus into minus plus 2V1 U cos alpha 1, the whole thing divided by 2, or 2V1 square minus V1 square is only 1 V1 square, that is delta H stage is equal to V1 square plus 2V1 U cos alpha 1 minus U square by 2. So this will be my expression for delta H stage. I can simplify further. What it is actually, I can write the same expression in terms of phi. So this will be your expression. I can retain this expression in terms of U and V, or I can convert it to phi. So what is phi actually? Already we have defined phi is equal to, which is the speed ratio, which is defined by U by V1, or I can write either U is equal to phi into V1. Okay. So what I will do actually, I will take V1 square outside. So delta H stage is equal to V1 square plus 2V1. Okay. What is U? U is nothing but your phi into V1. Okay. Cos alpha 1 minus phi square into V1 square, whole thing divided by V1 square. So what I can do, I can take, so 2V1 square. So I can take V1 square outside. If I take V1 square outside, it is only 2, it is not V1 square, it is 2, yeah. So I can take V1 square outside and 2 outside. So delta H stage is equal to, it is 1 plus 2 into phi cos alpha 1 minus phi square. So this will be your expression for enthalpy stage in terms of phi, or in terms of velocity, it is equation number 11, or in terms of, if I want to substitute this in terms of U, I can do it, or the same 11 I can still modify it. What I can do is actually, the equation 11 can be one more step and I can leave it. That also simplified from that is, I can take V1 square by 2 outside, or I can write 1 plus 2 into U by V1 into cos alpha 1 minus u by v1 whole square or u square by v1 whole square. This also I can leave it. Either leave it in that particular form or this particular form. So this is in terms of your peripheral velocity and your absolute velocity of the stream. Or if I want to express the same expression delta H in terms of phi, so this will be the expression. Okay. Now let us define the blade efficiency. The blade efficiency or vane efficiency. Few books they call this as vane efficiency. The blade efficiency or vane efficiency, which is given by this one. What is it actually? It is the ratio of work done per kg of steam or whatever it may be, work done per kg of steam or total energy supplied per kg of steam, or it can be as it is, work done per total energy supplied. Total energy supplied. It can be both, can be per kg also, it's fine. So, and also some of the books actually they define this delta H per stage, which is also equal to your the stage stagnation enthalpy. In that case, this will be delta H naught. Okay, if it is static, this will be delta H, or if it is stagnation, this will be delta H naught. Or I can write your blade efficiency is equal to your W divided by delta H stage, or your work done divided by delta H naught stage. I am calling that as equation number 3. Already we have derived the expression for work done. We have derived the expression for delta H. Let's substitute for this. So what is the work done expression we have? It is V1 square into phi. Let's be substitute in terms of phi itself. 2 phi cos alpha 1 minus phi square and divided by, it is V1 square by 2 into 1 plus 2 phi cos alpha 1 minus phi square. So this is the expression. So I can write further simplification. 2 I can take it to the numerator. This will be 2 into V1 square just simply cancel out. I am left with 2 into 2 phi cos alpha 1 minus phi square divided by, it is 1 plus 2 phi cos alpha 1 minus phi square. So this particular thing is can be simplified further. What I will do, I will add plus 1 and minus 1 in numerator and simplify. Okay. So what I will do, I will take 2 into, so inside it is 1 plus 2 phi cos alpha 1 minus phi square. Okay, it is minus 1 plus 1 minus 1. If I do that, then I can write in the denominator it is 1 plus 2 phi cos alpha 1 minus phi square. So further simplification I can do. What is it actually? I am going to open the bracket. Okay, so the 2 comes out. So this will be 2 to 5. 2 into will be 1 square. So 2 into minus 2, I am just taking out. So this will become 5 of minus 5 square. So same equation I can write it as 2 minus 2 divided by fine. 2 divided by 1 plus 2 phi cos alpha 1 minus phi square. So this is the expression for your blade efficiency. We call this as equation number 14. So the equation 14 is the expression of. Now if you look at this, for any given alpha, for any given alpha, it is flow angle. That means flow angle with which the jet is directed toward the steam turbine blade. So if for a given alpha, that means this becomes constant. For any given alpha, then from the equation 14 I could see the blade efficiency is a function of phi. Okay. So then to maximize the efficiency, to maximize the blade efficiency, what I need to do, I need to differentiate the blade efficiency with respect to phi and equate it to 0. Okay, if I do that, what should I do? So d by p phi of 2 minus 2 divided by 1 plus 2 phi cos alpha 1 minus phi square and equate it to 0. So what I am left with actually, if I differentiate simple in 2, nothing is there, everything I'm going to left with only the bottom. So if I differentiate and equate it to 0, I'll be getting 2 cos alpha 1 minus differentiation is 2 phi is equal to 0, or going to get cos alpha 1 is equal to phi, which is equal to u by v1. So at any given point, your speed ratio is equal to, will be the cosine of the given angle. Say if I give that angle, if it is fixed as some 12 degrees, cos 12 or degrees, so cos 18 is my phi. So once I know my phi, u by v1 I can find it. So u is directly proportional to the speed with which I need to define. It defines the diameter of the wheel, pi n by 60. Fine. So I can find v1, what velocity I should be able to get some kind of optimum value. So once I know, how can I find the maximum blade efficiency is equal to 2 minus 2. I have 1 plus 2 into pi cos alpha 1 into cos alpha 1 minus cos alpha 1 square, or cos, or I can simplify this as 2 cos square alpha 1. So I'll be getting it as 2 minus 2 divided by 1 plus, so 2 cos square alpha minus 1 cos square alpha, I'm going to left with 1 cos square alpha 1. Or I can further simplification, I can do. Further simplification I can do to do it as, this will be 2 into 1 plus cos square alpha 1 minus 2 divided by 1 plus cos square alpha 1, or the maximum blade efficiency is equal to 2 plus 2 cos square alpha 1 minus 2 divided by 1 plus cos square alpha 1 plus 2 minus 2 just simply cancel out. I am left with 2 cos square alpha 1 divided by 1 plus cos square alpha. Okay, this is your expression for maximum efficiency. So if I know the value of alpha, Only I know the value of alpha. Given the value of alpha, I can find the corresponding maximum efficiency. Okay. Before we get into some numericals, so to look into it. What is it actually? One is your mass flow rate. So your mass flow rate, or we can call it as discharge Q. Q is the mass flow rate is equal to m dot is equal to rho into area of flow into Vf, and this 2. So I can find your discharge is equal to area of the flow into velocity of the flow. Okay. What is your area of the flow? Area of the flow is equal to pi into your diameter into, so where d is nothing but your average diameter, the average diameter, and v is the width of the plate, because this will be very useful when you are solving the numerical. Or I can find, say, if I substitute this particular in the mass flow rate equation, this will be rho into pi dB into your velocity of the flow. At any given point, you want to find the d. So I want to find the width of it. Your b is equal to your mass flow rate, divided by your density into pi into d into Vf. And also we know that density is equal to 1 upon your specific volume, because this being a steam. I can write the same B as mass flow rate into the specific volume divided by your pi into d into your velocity of the flow, where small v is the specific volume in meter cube per kg, and density is in kg per meter cube. This will be helpful when you are solving the numericals. Okay, so let's try to solve one numerical. I'm not going to take too much. I'll try to solve one numerical and try to wind up. Okay, let me take one numerical. I'll try to upload the numerical tutorial sheet. Let me take one numerical. Come back. Just wait, I will share the screen again. 1 minute. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. You can see the screen. So I have tested the numerical 1. 1 minute it will come. Okay. This is the numerical statement. What it is actually? A single stage impulse turbine has a diameter of 1.5 meters and running at 3000 rpm. The nozzle angle is 20 degrees. The speed ratio is 0.45. The ratio of relative velocity at the outlet to that at the inlet is 0.9. The outlet angle of the blade is 3 degrees less than that of the inlet angle. Steam flow rate is 6 kg per second. Draw the velocity diagrams and find the following, that is velocity of the whirl, axial thrust, the blade angles and the power diameter. This is what we are supposed to find. Let's write the data what is given. Solution for this, the given. Okay. The diameter, which is 1.5 meters, and the speed is 3000 rpm. The nozzle angle alpha 1 is equal to 20 degrees. The speed ratio 0.45, and your friction coefficient, that is CB, whatever you call it as CB or KB, it is 0.9, and your beta 2 is 3 degrees less than, that is beta 1 minus 3 degrees, and your steam flow rate, which is mass flow rate of the steam, is 6 kg per second. What we are supposed to find? To find the first quantity is VW1 and VW2. The second is the axial thrust, and the third one is your blade angles beta 1 and beta 2, and the fourth one is the power developed. Okay. Let us write the velocity. See, this velocity triangle, combined velocity triangle, can be drawn in 2 ways. Okay. So I will take the first one. So I can take, I'll write it in this fashion. Your U. This is my V1. This is my VR1. This is my VF1, and this is my VW1, and this will be beta 1, okay, U, and this will be alpha 1. This is my inlet velocity triangle. In similar fashion, I can draw the exit velocity triangle like this. Exit velocity triangle. This will be VR2, beta 2. This will be V2, and this will be VF2, and this will be VW2. So this is the velocity triangle. If you call this as X, so what is my X? X is equal to VW1 minus U, and let me call one more thing, which is Y, that is Y is equal to VW2 plus U. If I rename it, it is A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay. Your dB is equal to VW1 minus U, and your B into E, BE is equal to your VW2 plus U. That's what I'm going to use the sign convention. Let us try to solve it one by one. See, the peripheral, they have given the diameter, they have given the speed, the blade speed or peripheral speed. The blade speed, okay, U is equal to pi into D into N by 60. So that is pi into 1.5 into 3000 divided by 60. So this turns out to be around 235.6 meters per second. This is my speed, blade speed. So they have given phi is equal to 0.45, which is equal to u by v1, or your v1 is equal to u by pi, that is 235.6 divided by 0.45. I am going to get my v1 is equal to 523.8 meters per second. Okay. Let us consider the velocity triangles. From the exit velocity triangle, from the inlet velocity triangle, from the inlet, let's go one by one. Okay. From the inlet velocity triangle, we have sin alpha 1 is equal to Vf1 divided by Vw1. Okay, Vf1 divided by V1, sorry, Vf1 divided by V1. So sin alpha 1 is equal to Vf1 divided by V1. I know the value of V1, I know the value of alpha, which is 20. I can easily find Vf1. So Vf1 is equal to V1 sin alpha 1. So V1 is 523.8 into sin 20, so which turns to be around 179 meters per second. So there can be a small changes in the decimals. You can check into that. 178 or something you're going to get, and round it up to 179. So similarly, what is cos alpha 1? Cos alpha 1 is your adjacent side, which is Vw1 divided by V1, or my Vw1 is equal to V1 cos alpha 1, that is 523.8 into cos 20 is equal to Vw1 is equal to, if I do it, 491.89, so 490, roughly around 492 meters per second. Now, what is this x? Already I have taken x is equal to Vw1 minus u. So, x is equal to Vw1 minus u, or I can write it as 492 minus 235.6, which turns out to be around 256, roughly. I'm just writing a rough numbers. Okay. Now, what is tan beta 1? Tan beta 1 is equal to your opposite side by adjacent side. That is, your opposite side is Vf1 divided by your x. Okay. Or I can write my beta 1 is equal to tan inverse of Vf1 divided by x, or my beta 1 is equal to tan inverse of Vf1 is found to be 179 divided by 256. So if I take the tan inverse of it, I am getting around 34.93 degrees. So roughly I can take it as 35 degrees. Okay. See, one of the angle is given. So your beta 2 is beta 1 minus 3. I have just now I calculated beta 1. So what is your beta 2? So therefore, as given in the problem statement, beta 2 is 3 degrees less than your beta 1. That is beta 1 minus 3. So your beta 2 is equal to 35 minus 3. It is 32 degrees. Okay. And they are given the friction coefficient, that is Cb or Kb, whatever is there, which is 0.9. So what is the Cb? Your Cb is equal to Vr2 by Vr1. Okay. Or I can write your Vr2 is equal to 0.9 times of Vr1. This is what they are given. Now let us take the exit inlet velocity triangle to calculate VR1. What is it actually? sine beta 1. So if I go and look into what is my sine beta 1, sine beta 1 is equal to Vf1 divided by Vr1. Vf1 divided by that opposite side by your hypotenuse, that is Vr1. Sine beta 1 is equal to Vf1 divided by Vr1, or I can write Vr1 is equal to Vf1 divided by sine beta 1. Just now we calculated sine beta 1. So Vf1 is 179 divided by sine beta 1 is 34.93 or 35 if you put. So I'm going to get my Vr1 is equal to 312 meters per second. So therefore Vr2 is equal to 0.9 into 312, which is 281 meters per second. Okay. Now from the exit velocity triangle, from the exit velocity triangle, cos beta 2. So let me go to that velocity triangle. Cos beta 2. What is cos beta 2? It is y, that is Vw2 plus u, that is your Be divided by your Vr2. Okay, Be divided by Vr2, that is y divided by Vr2. So let me write that. Cos beta 2 is equal to y divided by Vr2 or and y I need to get I have to find y, from that I can find Vw2. So therefore y is equal to Vr2 into cos beta 2. What is my Vr2? It is 281 into cos beta 2 is equal to 32, because 2 minus beta 1 is 35, no? Yeah, beta 32 degrees. 35 minus 3, it is 32 degrees. So my y is equal to 281 into cos 32. I am getting around 238.8 meters per second. Okay. Once I find this y, what is my y? Y is equal to Vw2 plus u. So I need to find Vw2. So Vw2 is equal y minus u, that is 238.8 minus of 230.6. So this comes around 3.2 meters per second. Vw2 is equal to 3.2 meters per second. So I need to find the axial force. One I have calculated 2. So if I use the sine beta 2, which is your Vf2 divided by Vr2, or I can find Vf2 is equal to Vr2 into sine beta 2, or Vr2 is equal to Vr2 281 into sine 32. So 32, I am getting my Vf2 as 148 meters per second. So I got my all Vf1, Vf2, everything. So one I need to find. So I just now I found what are you are supposed to find? You are supposed to find the Vw1 and Vw2. Well, beta 1 and beta 2 you have found. The power we need to find. So Vw1 and Vw2 you have found. Find the difference of it. So Vw1, what are the things we are supposed to find? Vw1 is how much it is? Vw1 492 meters per second. 492 meters per second, and Vw2 is 3.2 meters per second. They're supposed to find axial force. see the axial force come in your flow direction. That is mass flow rate into Vf1 minus Vf2. So mass flow rate they given it as 6. 6 into your Vf1 is 179 and your Vf2 is 148. So if I do that, I'm getting my axial force as 180.96 newtons, so 181 newtons. I can round it off. The third one, already we know beta 1 is equal to 35 degrees and beta 2 is equal to 32 degrees. And what is your power absorption? So power is nothing but your mass flow rate into work done per unit mass. Okay. So what is the formula to find work done per unit mass? Actually, it is W by M is equal to VW1 minus VW2 into U. Fine. Now let us come to this, whether this VW2 is plus or minus, we have to look at it. Now, your VW1 is in this direction and VW2 is in this direction. So this is my VW1 direction, this is my VW2 direction. So this should be minus of minus, even though we got 3.2 as the particular thing. So the value of it is in opposite direction to the flow of this particular thing, your tangential force. So this should be taken as minus of VW. So this will become plus. So this is actually 492 plus 3.2 into U, which is 235.6. 235.6. Okay. Then the power will be multiplied by another 6. So the power is equal to multiply by another 6. If I do that, so I am going to directly get the roughly around 699 point some change. It is 700 kilowatts. So this is the power per. So it's a very maybe medium size turbine producing around